Maybe you can get something out of that. Maybe you can get something out of that. Alright there, you little demons. Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Choose Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the Crown Jules of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you. Yes, you, the person who had to go to A&E this week, because yes, the hernia is still very much large and in charge, and then decided to get larger and in charger when a cyst decided to grow on it. It's as disgusting as it sounds. I had to go through it, so you have to go through it too. Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week, and this week we have none other than Alison5591 for their suggestion of video games that are still fun, even if you absolutely suck at video games. And trust me, my friends, even though I may absolutely look it, I ain't perfect. I make a lot of mistakes, and in fact, I'm pretty rubbish at games. Therefore, I really enjoy it when games come along and say, hey man, you don't need to get good, let's just have a good time, my friend, and chill out and have some fun together. So let's have a chat about them. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 video games that are fun, even if you suck. So let's get on with number 8, Portal. Though puzzle platformer games are inherently off-putting to many players, even the most clueless among us will surely have an absolute blast with Portal. Far from a clinical conveyor belt of increasingly tricky rooms, this benefits massively from both its uniquely offbeat sense of humour and the sheer joy of experimenting around with the game's bonkers physics engine. It's a game where simultaneously nothing makes sense and yet everything absolutely does, and where the thrill of figuring out the solution to a crafty puzzle is borderline euphoric. It's like that moment in 2001: A Space Odyssey when the monkeys are looking at the giant monolith. They're just kind of like, what's that? What's that? I don't get it. Now, but even if you do end up stuck for far too long on any of the test chambers, the applications of the Portal gun to tinker around with physics and slingshot yourself around ensure that it's basically impossible not to have fun. You can have fun not doing anything apart from just throwing yourself through portals and going, whee! Or going, hi me! Right. And as ever, Valve outdid themselves by introducing co-op gameplay in Portal 2, giving you and a pal just enough room to bounce ideas off when the going gets tough. And by that, I mean dropping them into a pool of lava. Happened so much. And it was funny every time. Number 7, Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Now, the pop culture dominance of Guitar Hero back in the mid to late 2000s simply cannot be overstated. And one of the big reasons that it and rhythm game rival Rock Band proved so popular, well, they're incredibly satisfying to play even though you may have the rhythm of a bloody baked potato. Now, even if you have no hope in hell of being able to ever play through the fire and flames on expert difficulty, the easy and normal levels let you strum along casually to your classic rock tunes of choice without much fear of failure. Or unless you're really, really, really bad, that is. And trust me, we've all been there. Though these games come into their own on higher difficulties where you're more or less strumming with 1-to-1 in the real notation, if you just want to hold a plastic musical instrument to pretend to rock out, well, that is totally a valid way to experience these games. For example, back when I was at university, we had 3 of us that were playing on expert mode and one of us, the bassist, playing on easy mode. Or as well, people would say in real life, just playing bass. Hey, whoa, take that bassist, whoa, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Playing 4-4 at me? Ha ha ha. Number 6, Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, there are large swathes of Grand Theft Auto players who aren't actually that interested in the story and instead just prefer to simply cause as much wanton mayhem as possible. Now, I personally don't like these people because the stories in these games are amazing, and if we don't play them, then GTA 6 is going to come out and they just go, well, you don't want a story, do you, mate? You don't want it. It's all about GTA 6 Online. And it's like, no, please stop. Anyway, killing randoms, crashing cars, and taking on a literal army of cops is everything that GTA has ever been about. And even if you're terrible at shooting and driving in GTA 5, Rockstar gives you the keys to their massive open world sandbox and just lets you have at it. Again, you're under no obligation to actually get through the campaign. Instead, you can just spend hundreds of hours getting into random mischief on the streets instead. And if you end up dead, so what? You just get kicked out of the hospital. It's fine. Don't try this in real life. Do not try this in real life. Aside, please put up a warning thing. Do not try in real life. Mischief, not tolerated in real life like that. You will die. GTA 5 is a game so overwhelmingly packed with things to do that it's tough to imagine even the most atrocious player ever getting bored of it. And given Rockstar's impeccable track record, there's no reason to believe the same won't be true for the upcoming GTA 6. Number 5. Hades. Now, Hades is a really interesting example of this because there's basically such a thing as being too good at supergiant games as roguelike action RPG. You see, exceptionally skilled players who manage to sail through to the end of the game in short order will actually end up missing a large chunk of the story, character development, dialogue, and general lore, which are doled out over many repeated runs. And so the fact that each subsequent run feels unique and fleshes out the overall experience makes it much tougher to feel demoralized and defeated when you lose. And trust me, you will. Upon dying, the world is yours again to just soak in and have more brilliant chit-chat with the awesome companion characters. And while many roguelikes ultimately make this repetition feel oppressive and frustrating, Hades cushions that blow for less skilled players by ensuring that there's always something new to acquaint yourself with. In fact, death is its own reward in this game, because you'll just be like, well, if I die again, maybe somebody's got new things to sell me, new things to say to me, new quest lines to go on. It's just like, I want to die? That's not the statement I want to say on YouTube in 2024. What I'm trying to say is, as roguelike design goes, it's one of those elegantly simple ideas that should now just be a standard of the genre. Number 4, Wreckfest. Now, Wreckfest might technically be a racing game, but let's be honest, it's really just the unabashed spiritual successor to the legendary Destruction Derby series. Derby, whatever you want to say. I live in Derby. Now, while Wreckfest does allow players to conventionally race others, the real meat of this game lies in the ramming, shunting, and straight up obliterating of anyone else who dares to populate the same stretch of track as you. Even if you never win a race or outlast everyone in a Demolition Derby event, the act of getting stuck in and grinding metal with a lobby full of players, well, that's a pure riot. Thanks to the sublime visual detailing and crunchy sound design, it's tremendously enjoyable to mindlessly smash into other cars, no matter how poorly you might be performing in a conventional sense. My watch just fell off my hand. What the Why? There's a ghost in my house and he's haunting my wrist. Oh dear. Oh bloody hell. What are these ghosts like? Come here, you cheeky about. Exercise you later. Exercising my patience, more like. And thanks to its sublime visual detailing and crunchy sound design, it's tremendously enjoyable to mindlessly smash into other cars, no matter how poorly you're actually doing in a conventional sense. It's just like, well, listen, mate, I've got to get from A to B, but I will see you later through deriving into your exhaust. I don't know why I'm doing the alphabet. F you. Number 3, It Takes Two. Now, It Takes Two is a game basically designed for those new to the platforming genre, given that, like developer Hazelight's prior co-op project A Way Out, it's entirely concerned with 2 players teaming up to make it through the game. Now, It Takes Two centres around a married couple on the brink of divorce who must put their differences aside as they attempt to escape a fantastical land and work out their marital strife. And so, it really is ideal for a gamer to play alongside their unskilled non-gaming partner. Basically, the game actually expects at least one of you to suck at it, and so the teamwork mechanics are relatively forgiving in allowing one player to pull most of the weight. And even if you do get totally stuck, there's always going to be another human player there to provide a helping hand. This ingenious setup evidently struck a chord then, given that It Takes Two won Game of the Year at the Game Awards and has sold over 16 million copies. Yeah, that ain't bad. Although that elephant scene, woof! Number 2, Rocket League. Now, Rocket League just might be the quintessential, easy-to-learn, tough-to-master multiplayer game, a fiendishly addictive fusion of football and racing games that's a damn blast whether you're stomping the competition or getting spanked 10-0, the latter half of which is pretty much my entire track record with this game. But I still like it. Though the game is highly competitive by nature, it's also extremely accessible thanks to the massive skill range amongst the player base. That is to say, no matter how much you might suck at Rocket League, there's always going to be somebody a good deal worse, so you're going to end up having a good game occasionally. The game's reliance on teamwork and the sheer innate fun of knocking a giant ball around an arena with a rocket-powered car basically speaks for itself. That while victory is exhilarating, even in crushing defeat, Rocket League is a compulsively addictive game of an uncommon kind. No matter how trash you might be, and trust me, I am, the synthesis of cars and football is just too damn awesome not to have fun with. I tell you what though, if the Euros were this with cars, I'd be watching every 4 years. I don't know, football. Kick a ball, millionaire. And number 1, cities Skylines. Now, you don't have to be a micromanagement deity to get a kick out of Cities Skylines, a city building sim that gives you a sandbox and effectively just says, have at it, go away, here's all the tools, make it yourself, destroy it, I don't care, bye. And for many, their cities will either be gorgeous but functionally chaotic disaster zones or hyper-efficient eyesores. Achieving a synthesis of fashion and function is incredibly difficult in this game, and for all but the most talented plate spinners among us, it's just a matter of time before the city-wide infrastructure starts to falter. Who would have guessed that trying to make a town that was just basically all electrical farms and grids and trying to make it all like clean power would have really turned it into a hotbox of fires, destruction everywhere. Magnet Town, I wanted to call it. Electric City, I should have called it, but it didn't go well. It didn't go well. And you know what? The mayhem is actually a lot of the fun. And when you just get bored of watching unending gridlocks, you can just pick up the Natural Disasters DLC, which lets you mess around with tsunamis, earthquakes, forest fires, and even meteor strikes. Or all at once, you know, the old pick and mix Woolworth edition. Those city skylines will confirm just how well or not you can multitask. The often hilariously disordered outcome makes for a compulsively addictive time, no matter how poorly you can juggle its various and multiple gameplay systems. Why am I calling it Skylines, I bet you're wondering? Because I watched a TV show many years ago, and there was a dating show on it, and one of the contestants just said, I love sitting at the beach and looking at that, and then she started to cry, so it sounded like she went, Skylines. I just found it really funny. Never been able to find it since. Might just be in my own head. Might have been me saying that, I don't know. It's been a rocky few years. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 video games that are fun, even though you may suck at them. Hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, as well as put your suggestions for next week's episode down there as well. But before I go, I just want to say a few things. First, follow me over here on the social medias, my lovely editor Si over on her social medias over here. And then, let's have a quick chat. Come closer, my friend, because even though we spoke today about video games that sucked, you know what doesn't suck? You, my dude, because at the end of the day, you are a massive ledge. You deserve love, happiness, and success. We all do as human beings on this planet, and I hope that you'll treat yourself with that love and respect that you bloody well deserve. Do not let anything or anyone else tell you you are less than a massive ledge, all right? And get out there and smash your life goals today. I believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself as well. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.